Hi guys, you're tuned into My Dad Says Audio. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. Today I will be just very briefly discussing my experience with some speakers I just bought. The Martin Logan Vantages. There's one, there's the other. And yeah, my experience with them, I had a bit of a problem at first. This fellow over here was sounding, the woofer was fine. For those of you who don't know, the Martin Logan's kind of design philosophy is to use a moving coil woofer for the bass and an electrostatic panel for the mid-treble. And these are no different. This fellow over here, he was sounding a bit dull. So I kind of looked up online what you can do, and I gave him a real good vacuum because the electrostatic charge is so powerful, it just sucks in dust and crud. So I've given it 2 really good vacuums, and I also changed the amp. I was originally using the Shiguang SG845 single-ended 20-watt amp. I don't think it was a very good match. So I swapped over to the old trusty Fozzy V3, and I also bought the 48-volt power brick, which means the Fozzy now puts out 130 watts per channel. And yeah, with the cleaning and just letting them run in a bit and upgrading the amp power to something that's more appropriate, yeah, it's about 90%. I'm still contacting Martin Logan to find out about getting a new panel if that's what has to happen. But yeah, I paid $1,700 plus $250 delivery, and I told the guy when I got him, I said, "Look, man, one panel's down. I can hear it. Like I've had a similar experience with Lineums when I had one Lineum pop, and I went to Tandy or Radio Shack if you're in the US." And I bought a replacement part, and it just never matched. The tweeter ribbons didn't match. I could hear it. And yeah, I ended up finding out that's because they're different productions, and same design but different production materials, specifically the diaphragm. But yeah, the one that's going sounds so good that it got me encouraged enough to want to persist with getting them fixed. So Martin Logan are actually really good. Like these are about 20 years old, and they said, yeah, look, we can still manufacture and send you the panels. I think they wait until they get a lot of orders, like 10, 20, 100, however many, I don't know. And then they go ahead and proceed and make them, and then they send them to distributors, and you've got Martin Logan specified that you have to get them via the distributor. So I've called, I think it's Audio Active, I think is the name of the company that reps Martin Logan in Australia, and they were really friendly and helpful. And yeah, no. So how do they sound? Well, if you're into jazz or acoustic, these could be right up your alley. If you like to hear the string kind of being plucked and having that holographic 3D image just floating in space in front of you, these will really do it for you. But and they sound fine. Like as my dad always says, "Oh, what did you listen to first? The Prodigy?" I'm like, "Of course I listened to the Prodigy first." And they can rock. If the bass is, there's a tuning knob at the back, and I've set it to 0, and there's still prodigious amounts of bass being produced. The bass, they're not bass shy at all. So yeah, and I've only tried them with my Oppo. You can see there with the little blue display, still kicking on. I haven't tried them with vinyl yet because unfortunately my FVP, my 4-valve preamp, has popped a fuse. And until my dad's kindly, my dad doesn't work on everything that I get. You know, you might get the impression, I just buy stuff and he just does work on everything. He'll do work on things he considers worthy of his time, or not deadly. Like he's told me when I got the 845, he goes, when it goes boom, don't come to me. And I think he's pretty much the same with the electrostatics. Like if it was something simple, I could probably twist his arm, but he just basically described it to me as, you know, I'll go down the rabbit hole when there's a pinprick of light at the end of the tunnel, but if it's just a Stygian black tunnel, then I don't go down those rabbit holes. And I think he considers the Martin Logan's a bit of an endless rabbit hole. So, but yeah, I ended up getting $200 back off the guy. I said, look, you know, I can hear one panel's down. He's like, oh, try this, try that. I said, no, it's, you know, there's something not 100%. But, yeah, so, but yeah, as I said, the panel that works got me encouraged enough to want to persist with this mission. And, yeah, what else can I say about them? Like the electrostatic panel is so fast and open and free of boxy kind of colorations. The thing is, if you, all of us have, 99% of us have grown up with traditional moving coil box speakers, and you just get used to that sound, that congestion, that boom, that kind of, you just get, you take it for granted. And when you hear a speaker that doesn't do that, it can actually take a little while to get used to. I remember when I first heard my dad's Visaton open baffle Basszilla speakers, whatever you want to call them, and I'm like, they sound different. They sound, it's weird. Like, and he's like, yeah, it takes a little while to get used to the openness and the speed and the lack of boxiness. But yeah, I like Martin Logan's. I'm gonna either see if I can just do something to keep this panel going, or get a replacement panel, depending how much it costs. If it costs money, it costs money. You know, I don't drink, smoke, or gamble, so I've got to have some vice. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for the Martin Logan Vantages. If this is your kind of content, please consider liking, subscribing, sharing, and commenting. All right, guys, until next time, have a good one. Bye.